different things on so many different levels. Brother Keidi, welcome back to WOL Radio.
Greetings to you, my brother Carl. How you feeling today? How you doing, brother Carl?
Brother Keidi, as always, we black and we shine.
We black and we shine. And one of the beautiful things about being black and shining is that our glow, our shine, illuminates the darkness. What a great first hour conversation you had with Dr. Denise. She is so insightful, so brilliant. And one of my favorite things I like about my sister, she's really honest.
Oh, yeah, you should have heard some of the conversation during the breaks between us and the producer. I mean, she's brutally honest. She'd break it right down, but I guess that's part of the training as a psychologist, to just tell the truth, the facts. Sometimes for some of us it's hard to digest, but sometimes you just have to deal with it straight up. It's the fact. That's what it is. That's why we have you here today to help us deal with some of the facts about this coronavirus. So help us out. How did it start? What's your research show that it started?
Okay, and I want everybody out there to get pen and paper. If you're on the computer, have a blank search engine up, because I want you to verify everything that I bring to the program today. The Carl Nelson Show is a place where you should be able to tune into regularly and just get straight facts without a whole bunch of hyperbole, and people just making up stuff. So when we ask the question of, where is this emerging from, in a dialogue that I've put together on this, I've done many hours of study of this now, and even about 9 hours or more of broadcasts on this particular topic, so I'm pretty well informed. I have a list of some 73 last count references, many from peer review articles that the overwhelming majority of the public just are not exposed to. So when we look at where this began, I can only speculate that this began really as a political idea. I think that ultimately this is a political contest, and it may be a showdown of two superpowers, the United States and a strongly emergent China as a superpower. Now, when we look at the Wuhan origins of this, there's certain points there that we could look at that give us some sort of insight and information. Presuming that this is a virus, presuming that this did jump from species to humans, then the place like a grocery store or a meat market where workers are handling the bloody carcasses of animals all day long, then the idea that a piece of viral debris or a tiny particle containing DNA and or RNA will be transferred from the dead animal to the person carving it up, well, that's like a no-brainer. And when we consider certain questions, and we'll get to these questions today, like what is a virus, how ubiquitous are viruses in the world, and are viruses even living, we can understand that the idea of an infectious agent called a virus jumping from animal to humans probably would happen 10 million times a day around the world.
So how do you rate this one?
How do I rate this one? I don't put any more fear or hysteria over coronavirus than I do about Zika virus, SARS virus. We've had so many of these: swine flu, S1N1, Legionnaire's disease, the 1976 swine flu, Asiatic flu. I mean, there's such a long list. Even heterosexual HIV turned out to be a dud, despite the fact that so many news headlines hyped that up for so many years. So now we need to kind of step back from hysteria and put on our thinking caps. One of the big problems we have with the public understanding what's going on here is people don't understand the mathematics of epidemiology. It's a numbers game, and Carl, numbers don't necessarily lie. And so I put together some really important numbers. If we have to cut the break, maybe we'll wait until after we come back for break. Some really important numbers for people to see this in context.
All right, you can start. I think we got about 3 minutes before the break, but go ahead.
It won't take me 3 minutes to go through this. So here we go, people. We're asking you to put your mathematics, your science hat on. And everything I say is verified by the mainstream community. Coronavirus, the mathematics of epidemiology. So first of all, I want people to look at pneumonia mortality. The number of annual deaths in the United States from pneumonia is 49,157. Those statistics are from the CDC Fast Stats 2018. Deaths per 100,000 of the U.S. population, 15.1 deaths per 100,000 on a yearly basis from pneumonia. Based upon those numbers, we predict that pneumonia deaths for 2020 will be 49,740. Again, 15.1 per 100,000. Current U.S. population as of this morning, 329,405,000 people. In all of the 2019 novel coronavirus deaths, the disease morphology, meaning how it presents itself, exactly fits the profile of pneumonia. And nearly all of the documents covering this say the same thing. They're dying of pneumonia. In most cases of the diagnosis, symptoms either do not exist or they resemble that of seasonal cold or flu, which is an acute upper respiratory syndrome, as opposed to the acute obstructive pulmonary disease, which is pneumonia. So, last couple of sentences. As of March 16, 2020, 76 days into the coronavirus epidemic, U.S. deaths are at 85, as reported by the Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Resource Center. The forecasted daily deaths in 2020, daily deaths from pneumonia, averages 136 per day in the United States. Over the course of 76 days, this is 10,329. Thus, U.S. coronavirus deaths represent 0.823%, less than 1% of existing pneumonia deaths in the U.S. This forecasts an estimate of 409 total deaths in the United States from novel coronavirus during 2020 if the rate for the first 1/5 of the year remains on its present trajectory. Carl, we got
hold that thought right. Yeah, we got to take the short break right here on 1450 WOL, where information is power.